we have altogether about 34 billion of assets that we're willing to put onto the system as soon as the rails are shown to work. And
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, we're going to be reading some fundamental pieces, some documents, confirming everything that we've been talking about. Again, remember, this channel is not here to tell you, that you're going to become an overnight millionaire. It's to show you the investment opportunities that are available to us as manual retail investors in a nascent asset class and an early wave of adoption. Expand your brain and understand what is really happening behind the scenes. That's what we're here to show you. As always, if you all enjoyed these video breakdowns, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Make sure that you stick around for the entirety of this video breakdown. It's going to be jam-packed with lots of fundamentals, valuable insights to keep you in this game long-term. Avoid the manipulation on X. Avoid the market manipulation, especially if you're a long-term hodler, okay? If you're a day trader, then obviously, of course, it's a different approach. But for all of you long-term investors, this short-term volatility is expected. Even if we dropped and we saw another black swan event, completely just capitulate the digital asset class. We know where this is headed via the proof that these financial institutions, these large market participants, have confirmed and are telling us straight to our faces. It is not a hidden agenda like all these mainstream influencers or these mainstream resources make it out to be. The information is right in your face, people. So I tweeted out to you all, yes, ETFs are approved, right? Because I've seen a lot of people butthurt, down, depressed in the dumps because Bitcoin didn't freaking go to new all-time highs. Why were you expecting that in the first place? Think about that. Okay, most likely it was because you read an article. Most likely you saw some type of bullish price prediction on YouTube. Something influenced you to believe that.
Think about your own lives. What you read, what you know, what you watch, what you buy, everything is increasingly determined by algorithms. Our lives are being taken over by...
Okay, but the devil's in the details. So I said, but regulations don't support institutional involvement yet, and we've been saying that to people, okay? Most important thing to understand is that regulations are not completely implemented just yet. So these financial institutions don't have the green light.
Two sides of it, one on sort of sanitizing the worst excesses of crypto and bringing in the rules and the standards and the infrastructure, perhaps most importantly, that we're used to in traditional finance, into the crypto ecosystem, to make it safe for regulated institutions to allocate more to.
So even if a couple of them get involved on a global scale, the regulatory environment is not solidified just yet, but that is coming very soon. It is being worked on. We're going to prove that in today's video breakdown. Again, I'm a middleman. I'm not here to predict things for you all. I'm here to show you all the same exact information that I have access to, that you all have access to, but nobody chooses to pay attention to it. They choose to pay attention and get their information from Twitter and YouTube, and that's it. They don't choose to go and do the digging, so I'm going to do the digging for you, and then you can take that information and decide what to do with it. So, of course, they aren't letting in like Moon Boys clickbaited you into believing. Y'all, chill out. They, the institutions, are coming.
We're very bullish on crypto long-term, very excited to deploy our funds, but we're taking our time, being deliberate, and maintaining a high-quality bar. We're very bullish on crypto long-term, very excited to deploy our funds, but we're taking our time, being deliberate. We're taking our time, being deliberate.
But remember, most people are just off with their timelines.
The danger is that people get too excited too soon about the real speed at which this can happen, because the network effect required for everyone to start trading and holding tokens, it feels like we're a long way away from that. And as we know, central markets infrastructure providers are necessarily very conservative when it comes to new technology adoption. It has to be battle tested for many, many years before a CSD or a regulated exchange in the traditional world is going to adopt it. So whereas I agree the direction, I think it's also very important to calibrate for speed. And there's always been the danger in this industry of overexcitement and assuming things are going to move much faster than in reality they can.
If you don't think they, the institutions, are coming to drive massive demand for this market, then sell, get off of X, control your emotions. It's that simple.
Altogether about 34 billion of assets that we're willing to put onto the system as soon as the rails are shown to work. And altogether about 34 billion of assets that we're willing to put onto the system as soon as the rails are shown to work. And
stop crying, going back and forth, because your sorry crypto bags aren't pumping after all the Moon Boys told you it would the day after approval, right? So let me show you guys physical proof. The G20 openly stated that there is a massive restructuring of economies. On July 28th, 29th, 2023. You can see here's a PDF, again, shared. All this information, by the way, is in our private CYPRX research chat. If you want it directly from the sources and you all want to avoid the mainstream mass media manipulation and you want to tap into this type of research, join our Discord. We'd love to have you on the team. Visit cyprxtrading.com. Thought I'd throw that in there real quick. So, key addresses by Nandan Nilekani. He goes on to say, in an era of global demographic shifts, warming climates, and the dawn of new geopolitical contexts, technology is enabling the restructuring of economies. Digital capital is key for this. I don't have time to get into details, but fundamentally, I believe green growth in an uncertain world needs a new agile approach, and every nation needs such digital transformation. What's happening right now? What did they do in 2019? Remember,
I wanted to take a look in the rearview mirror and describe how we got here. And we're not going to go too far. We're going to go about 3 years and talk about what the world looked like then. So we had a pandemic. We digitized everything, accelerated by that pandemic.
Enacted the digital transformation. We know that this is taking place, okay? Now, here this goes on to confirm. This is a document from LSEG, Data Analytics, the future of financial services talent. What does it say? The great reshuffling. Financial institutions that pivot will benefit the most. We know that these financial institutions know what is happening. They know that if they don't accept this digital transformation and start to adapt, they will fall behind.
The thing you also have to realize is this. The ball's in your court. You need to either embrace it or left behind.
Like that. We think it's going to completely change worldwide supply chains. If you're not operating at the edge of innovation or technology, you need to be prepared to be commoditized or potentially to become extinct.
Secondly, digitalization has taken a prominent position on organization agendas. Here, this goes on to confirm, and this is involvement. You can see, notice what they say. At this event that took place, Brad Garlinghouse being one of them, and some other highly reputable individuals, i.e. people from the Digital Dollar Project, so on and so forth, Solana, Coinbase, and whatnot, okay? Here we can see them confirming meaningful institutional digital asset infrastructure development is happening. So it is happening, but pay attention to the vocabulary. It is not 110% solidified yet, but it is happening. It is under works. It is under construction, okay? Will it roll out in a month from now? I'm not here to debate that with you. Will it roll out in 2 years from now? I'm not here to debate that with you. I'm here to show you the proof, okay? So we know that it's happening. We also know that large financial institutions are talking about cryptocurrency and digital assets. Here's more proof. April 3rd, 2024 event taking place. You can see the future of digital finance community. Look at all these banks. Wells Fargo, Citibank, Bank of America, Charles Schwab, Chase, American Express, okay? Large financial institutions, what are they going to be talking about? Advancing the ABCs, assets, blockchain, and crypto. And you can see them confirm right here, the future of banking is digital. It is no longer a question, but a fact. So now I've confirmed to you that this information is not made up, right? Now, do you all also remember what they said back at this event? So we have another upcoming event, the 2024 Global Annual Meeting of the BAFT. Well, in their previous meeting last year, what did they confirm?
Everyone expected this digital ledger technology was going to be the next great thing, and we were expecting, in effect, a great bang where there would be immediate adaptation across the industry. It was going to solve all of our problems, both in terms of data, but also in terms of work-saving capabilities. However, that hasn't happened. But what we have heard is, unfortunately, a series of negative stories about new entrants, fintech entrants into the industry that, for one reason or another, were not successful in their application. And so the perception amongst the public has been basically that this thing is dead in the water. However, I'm hoping through our panel discussion here to prove that that's not true, and that there are positive things happening in the industry.
So they're not hiding this information from you all. They're telling you all. But again, nobody's paying attention to this type of content. Here at CYPRX, we are. Now remember, artificial intelligence and cryptocurrencies are all going to coexist in the future moving forward. If the regulations on artificial intelligence aren't firmly in place, along with the cryptocurrency regulation not firmly in place, of course, there's going to still be friction. Of course, there's still going to be hesitation to onboard into the space. And what did we just recently get? The EU's Artificial Intelligence Act just came into fruition on December 8th, right? Now, this is a crucial milestone and a decisive step for the regulation of AI worldwide, and this overall significance of this achievement should not be underestimated. But we know that 8 to 18 months, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these financial institutions and large organizations have time to implement this new EU AI Act. Okay, it's not just going to happen overnight. So I thought that real fast, I'd share some of those fundamentals with you all. Now I want to take your attention over to an EY document. And I know that this video breakdown might be a little bit lengthy, and it's not like, oh, you know, Bitcoin's going to go to $100,000, XRP is going to go to $1,000 type video. No, but this is educational information because why? The masses are distracted right now. They thought Bitcoin overnight after the ETF approval was going to go to $100,000. No, get wrecked. They sold on you. Whoever it was sold on you.
Got him! Got him! Oh! Whoa! Whoa!
Here in the CYPRX private community, we were calling out buys from 41,000. We were projecting a dump in the market. Okay, you just have to be able to tap in. So here, this is an EY document. Now, first thing I want to read is it goes on to confirm. From a strategic point of view, dedicated resources to follow the proposals. This would mean systems, controls, policies, procedures, people, and technology can all be adapted or enhanced ahead of implementation. So pay attention to the vocabulary again. Ahead of implementation. This is a 2024 updated document, recently fresh off the press, and it says ahead of implementation. So implementation hasn't fully happened yet. You guys see what I'm trying to show you, right? So scrolling up to the top of this document real quick, trying to get this information out as fast as possible so this video doesn't drag on. 2024 Global Financial Services Regulatory Outlook. Remember I said to you all in the tweet, regulations aren't firmly in place right now. Everybody calm down. This document's going to confirm that in some dates for you all. Just going through and reading these highlights to get this video over with and give you this information as fast as possible. It says, we highlight where firms should focus their attention in relation to priorities identified for 2024. Scrolling down here, it goes on to confirm that as digitalization, geez, that's a good one, digitalization becomes business as usual, right? Remember, we've heard previous video breakdowns of individual representatives saying that this whole thing will only really scale when it's in the back end, and you're not even noticing how absolutely massive it is running the entire back end system. Okay, so as digitalization becomes business as usual, some firms are struggling to update legacy systems, leading to greater regulatory scrutiny. The latest EY Global Risk Management Survey found that 94% of chief risk officers say they need some or many new skills and resources to meet the changing needs of the risk management function, with data science and cyber topping the list of most desirable skills. And just to show you guys that this PDF overall, not that we're going to sit here and specifically mention crypto, but talks about crypto, if I type in crypto, has the vocabulary term crypto in it over 26 times. Okay, so they are talking about crypto as well. All of these regulations, artificial intelligence, Web3, all of this whole, you all understand, I just showed you a document where the G20 confirmed that there is a massive restructuring of economies. Do you even understand? Do you even understand what that means? Okay, it's not just going to happen, boom, poof, overnight. So that's what I'm trying to show you guys, how deep this rabbit hole goes and the lack of understanding that people have on how freaking deep this is. This is deep. The whole global infrastructure is changing hands. It's not just, oh, banks investing in crypto. No, it's everything. Data analytics, artificial intelligence, carbon credits, digital identity, freaking ESG, like everything. Okay? When you understand that, it really puts things in a perspective as to how long this could possibly take. But we all know where it's headed. So where firms should focus their attention, decide on overarching strategies for digital assets. That was an important thing that people or these large financial institutions need to focus on. Remember, I just showed you guys an upcoming event. Well, what are they talking about? The banks, they're talking about crypto. They're talking about blockchain. Okay, they're talking about digital assets. So as we continue, it goes on to read, the market for digital assets is maturing with greater clarity about different categories and options, but regulatory approaches vary by region. although timelines remain unclear. So I highlighted that for you guys because it specifically says timelines remain unclear. So anybody that's projecting timelines for you all on social media, do they have more credentials than EY, a major consulting firm that helps financial institutions with digital transformation? I don't think so. Yet EY is sitting here telling you that timelines remain uncertain. So don't let anybody sit there and think like nobody has a crystal ball. In some jurisdictions, the clear direction of travel is toward a stronger regulatory framework. And we know the IMF managing director confirmed that they're not trying to implement these regulations to crush the crypto space. So here you can see what they're talking about, right? Now, right here, this is very interesting because it does get into some dates. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. It says, stablecoins are potentially the furthest along in terms of cross-jurisdictional alignment. And we know that stablecoins are going to be a massive player in this new financial ecosystem and play a very important role. So if stablecoin regulations aren't in place, come on now, people. Several regulators, particularly in Europe and in Asia, are considering the recommendations with the goal of implementing them by the end of 2025, right? So again, remember, I've been an advocate of telling you all that none of this is going to really fully scale and come into the trillions. And I'm talking about 20 trillion, 30 trillion, 40, 50 trillion dollar market cap until at least minimum 2025, in my personal opinion. If we did see another pump past previous all-time high market cap of like 5 to 8 trillion, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm talking about the freaking big blow off. Okay, that's not coming until these regulations are implemented, and we can see dates as far back as end of 2025 here, just as an example. Okay, I'm not predicting anything. I'm just showing you guys the details. I didn't make this data up. This is directly off an EY document. So don't sit here and be like, oh, Cyprus said 2025. No, I'm just a middleman showing you all this info. Crypto assets. Regulators are issuing communications about safety and marketing of pure crypto tokens to the public. Regulations will continue to expand to include AML CFT risks, market conduct resilience, cybersecurity, and sales conduct. In the EU, firms are getting ready for MiCA, which comes into effect at the end of this year. ASEC has applied product design and distribution obligations to marketing of margining of crypto assets. Traditional financial firms, this one is interesting, will have to decide soon how they will engage in the crypto asset markets. So they do have to make a decision. You understand that it's coming. The pressure is coming. The financial firms that do not, they will fall behind, and they know this for a fact. That's how we know these financial institutions are coming, because if one adopts them, they all have to, or they will literally become extinct. So what are they engaging in? What areas they can engage in prudently in a manner consists with existing risk management and compliance frameworks, as well as regulatory requirements. Failure to make a decision could lead to losing a competitive advantage. That was a very interesting highlight right there. Financial regulators worldwide are focusing also on net zero transitioning planning. And here you can see it says key jurisdictional developments include the EU's proposed corporate due diligence directive, which is approved and will only start to apply in 2026, right? So here's another date after 2025 and 2026. Okay, 2024, yeah, we could obviously, of course, see some massive institutional adoption and demand. But again, looking at regulations, a lot of these things aren't coming into fruition until at least the end of 2024, rolling into 2025. And that's just my personal opinion. If I'm wrong, who cares? Because if I'm wrong, we enter into a massive bull market cycle anyways. I'm just here trying to show you guys this info. So that way you on the internet space don't get manipulated and brainwashed when you see a dump in Bitcoin after the ETF approval, okay? Here it talks about how the ISSB's sustainability disclosure standards will take effect in 2024 with the aiming of becoming a universal standard, so that we have another one coming in 2024. This one's very interesting as well. It talks about climate as a financial risk. By year end, the ESB banking supervision stresses that banks must meet their supervisory expectations for climate-related risks, which is a part of Web3 in this digital transformation. They're not coming into fruition until the end of 2024. Here you can see it also talks about that the US SEC adopted amendments to the Investment Company Names Act, went effective December 10th, 2023, and the compliance date for the final amendments is until December 10th, 2025 for larger entities. You see that, right? It says right there. And then following that date, December 2025, we have another 2026 date, the 10th of June, 2026 for smaller entities. So you see here, the reason why I'm projecting that all of this stuff isn't really going to fully come into fruition is because the transformation isn't going to be complete until then. So yeah, of course, could we see some adoption in between? Absolutely. Could we see some bullish price action in between? Absolutely. But it's most likely going to be a bunch of manipulative he say, she say bull crap until we get to this point. So just be ready for that mentally. Okay. That's why I'm attempting to show you guys this information. So just take that into consideration. If you're a long-term investor, you're in a very good position now, but understand that short-term volatility, if you give into it, is going to manipulate your decision-making and it's going to manipulate your mood. Zoom out and understand the long-term perspective. Know where this asset class is headed. Trillions of dollars will eventually flood in, but it most likely won't happen until these large financial institutions have the green light from regulators to actually involve themselves in this space. With that being said, many blessings to you guys. Again, these are all, at the end of the day, my personal opinions on the information that I've shown you all. If you want to disagree with this information, that's absolutely fine. If you don't agree with this and you have your own personal resources that you've come to conclusions with and want to guesstimate on when all of this is going to come into fruition, absolutely fine. CYPRX is at the end of the day a research team, a research outlet, an informational outlet for you all to gather these things. None of this information is going to make it to the mainstream. So make sure that you're subscribed, smash that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.